Hello, welcome to 1988. It's a hard freaking year to pull movies out of. I honestly, I have it's so hard to just narrow it down to five. I have so many. So today, I am doing five, the five that I think you should absolutely have, and then I'm also adding one because it's although it's probably not in my top 10 for the year. I just think that it's still a must grab. And it is Rabid Grannies from Vinegar Syndrome here with the lenticular slipcover. And then the second grandma's on the back. Just really awesome. Really nice slip there. Vinegar Syndrome, they give you a lot of slips. And then on the inside, you have the original artwork here. Pretty awesome stuff. And I don't think my camera will pick it up, but I'll try anyway. That is the back there. Um yeah, so like I gave this movie a 3 when I watched it. I've only ever seen it once. It was when I bought this Vinegar Syndrome version of it release. And I honestly, it kind of shocked me. I thought it was just going to be like garbage, to be honest. Like I didn't know what to think. I thought it was going to be, I had never heard of it, so I was like, oh, it's probably just going to be maybe good for a couple laughs, but it's actually got some creepy special effects. Like, I'll give you a basis of it. Like, these two grannies are having like a house party with a couple friends and some family members and stuff, and then somebody sends them a package, and they open it up at the dinner table, and all of a sudden they start turning into demonic creatures. And the special effects here are fucking awesome. It's actually kind of crazy. And basically, the whole movie just takes place with all these people hiding inside this mansion while two rabid grannies are trying to kill them. And there's some storyline. It's not like there's a little bit of story there. I won't spoil anything. But that's the basis of it. And like I said, I gave it a 3. And I think it's a must grab. This is a beautiful, awesome release here from Vinegar. Something I'm always happy with is their slip covers. They always do a nice job on those. So yeah, that's my honorable mention. Definitely pick that one up, especially if you can get it with the slip because it just looks freaking cool. By either or, it's a worthy addition to any horror fans collection. And then up at number 5 here, I have Night of the Demons. This is the Scream Factory Steelbook Collector's Edition. I never upgraded to the 4K version of the movie, just because this steelbook's so beautiful. It's like I could get that too, I guess, and just keep them both. But when you're lacking shelf space like me, it just comes with the Blu-ray. When you're lacking shelf space and you've filled up your entire room, having multiple copies of one movie becomes inconvenient. Like, it's just like there's no point, because unless you're just collecting like all your favorite movies of all time, then that's fine. But if you're collecting like everything like me, every single movie comes out. Like, I have some years where I collected an entire year for as long as I could and got everything. So I have like 100 movies from that year and stuff like. So you just run out of space. So I'm happy with this Blu-ray. It looks great, sounds great. I'm happy. Think this slip or this steel book is as beautiful as you can get. So there's no need to upgrade there. With that said, I would still like to see what the movie looks like on 4K. So who knows? If it's ever reasonable, I'll probably grab it. But yeah, Night of the Demons. This movie I give a 3.5 out of 5. I I don't love it as much as I find a lot of people do. Like when I talk to people, it's always like right up there for top of the 80s kind of thing. And like I think it's fun. I think the special effects are phenomenal. The demons look great. The atmosphere is absolutely awesome. Such a good Halloween feeling movie. Just hits the season perfectly. And Angela, actress that does Angela, excellent. Linnea Quigley. This is like one of her most iconic scenes. The lipstick and the nipple stuff. Just great. It's a great, fun movie. Just throw it on anytime. It's a good, like, haunted house demon flick. It's fun. So, yeah, if you don't have Night of the Demons, throw it in your collection if you can. Any way you can. And then next up here, I got another Scream Factory Steelbook. This one's a 4K Steelbook this time. And this is They Live. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Roddy Piper. This one comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Nice artwork on the inside too. Beautiful 4K steelbook here. Absolutely awesome artwork on that. Can't be Harpender. I said you can't beat John Carpenter. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, John Carpenter's. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. I'd have to say. Like a lot of people say that it almost cliche at this point, but honestly, like some of my favorite horror movies. The Thing being one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Halloween. It's hard to fuck with Carpenter, so They Live delivers again. It's a take on Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's a fight sequence in this between Roddy Piper and Keith David, and it's like a good 5 minutes at least of them. It's an awesome fight. I absolutely love it. So many one-liners, just fun one-liners. Roddy Piper puts on the sunglasses, and he can see if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil a ton, but he puts on sunglasses and he can see the aliens, like who's an alien, who's human, and he's the only one that knows. So he's basically just trying to tell people, and it's who's an alien, who isn't, kind of thing. And it's fun. It's got a lot of fun scenes right up to the ending. The ending has a really fun scene too that I get a good kick out of. But yeah, They Live. Not going to spend a ton of time on these because they're all like the biggest movies of each year, so it would just be me saying the same thing everyone already heard 1,000 times. Like, I don't need to sell these movies because most people have seen them all already. So I'm basically just giving my thoughts on each one. And if I'm showing them on this series, this 50 years series, then I highly recommend adding everything I show to your collection. I try to stress that the most because that's kind of what I do. Like, it's why I'm doing this for fun, because I just love talking about movies I've seen and movies I've watched, and want other people to buy and collect too. And then next up here at number 3, this one might be controversial for a lot of people because I love this movie a lot, but I don't know if a lot of people would. This is from MVD Rewind Collection. This is Vampire's Kiss, starring Nicolas Cage. Jennifer Beals has a small part in here too. But it's got the reversible I already put on. And I think it comes with a little mini poster too. Yeah, it does. Just a small MVD Rewind posters. They're only like that big. There's not much to them. But yeah, Vampire's Kiss. So I think the storyline is excellent in this. the first time I watched it a few years ago, I thought the movie was a joke. Like while I'm watching it, Nicolas Cage's performance is so wacky and over the top and just it's one of the craziest performances uh, in like a mainstream movie I've ever seen. Like it's just crazy. It's hard to describe. It's fucking nuts. So I'm laughing the whole movie. Like everything's just funny. And then when you kind of realize where the story's going, it turns into a very serious movie, almost emotional. Like it's kind of crazy. It's really wild. Um, with a sad ending and just whacked, man. I love it. Anybody that has not seen Vampire's Kiss, don't look into it. Don't type it in on Google or anything because you'll get all the scenes from the movie played to be funny in videos, but it's not actually funny when you're watching the movie. It is, but it shouldn't be. It's good. The way he treats his secretary in this movie is just horrendous. It's like, oh my god, you're such a prick. But it's fun, man. Just fun. So yeah, grab Vampire's Kiss. This MVD, hopefully it's still available because it looks really good. And I've watched this movie before on other editions a long time ago, and it did not transfer well. This is a really good transfer for what the movie is. So grab that one if you can. And then at number 2, I have Pumpkinhead. Oh man, it's so hard. I feel like every movie I hold up, I'm like, this is the best movie. Because they're all my favorite movies from each year in the horror genre. This also has a 4K, which I will be upgrading to because this is one of my all-time faves. And I just think a movie like this would look beautiful on 4K and sound beautiful too because of the spots where Pumpkinhead is killing people when he's up in the tree and stuff. I'm guessing that would use I'm using my hands a lot. Ooh. That would use the Dolby Atmos probably really well and stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited to watch that one in 4K. So that's one I will be grabbing. I might even get off here and go see if it's still available here in Canada to grab and order it before it's gone. But with that said, this also looks awesome. This is the Scream Factory Blu-ray. It still looks great on here. So if you have this one and that you're good enough, that's good enough. That's what I tried to say. But Lance Henriksen, awesome in this. This could be his best role of his career, in my opinion. Aliens is pretty damn good too. So it's hard, but this one is more his movie and his alone, right? And yeah, a bunch of teenagers, 20 somethings year olds, hit his son while goofing around, and they flee the scene of the accident. And he goes to the local witch and summons Pumpkinhead to exact revenge on the people that wronged him. And it makes you feel both ways. Like, you feel for the people getting killed by Pumpkinhead, and then he starts to have remorse. And I won't ruin anything else, but I will say this is directed by Stan Winston. Yep. And the legendary puppeteer, obviously, Stan Winston. And you can tell because Pumpkinhead is one of the coolest designed characters in movie history, I think. I think it's right up there with the Xenomorph. It's too bad that this didn't get better sequels, because I think Pumpkinhead could have been much more legendary of a creature if he got like even one, like Alien got Aliens, right? if it got one good sequel. All the sequels are pretty rough. But yeah, if you don't have Pumpkinhead, add it to your collection. And then the big dog for 1988. Can anyone guess? It's also from Scream Factory. This is the 4K of Child's Play. This is uh, my favorite movie of the year for 88. This 4K, I'll start out with the packaging. It's got a nice slip. Nothing super special, but decent enough. And then it's got some reversible art on the inside there. Does it have just that cover on the other side, or does it have the actual original art? Oh, it's just that one. Alright. So yeah, those are the two artworks you get. This is 3 discs, I believe. Yeah, you get the 4K, you get the Blu-ray, and you get a Blu-ray of special features. And there's a lot of good ones here. Directed by Tom Holland, who I think is a great horror movie director. Everything I've seen of his, I've enjoyed. Psycho 2 being one of my favorite sequels of all time. Might be my favorite sequel. So I really appreciate Tom Holland. I think he does great work. And Child's Play is almost the perfect movie to me. Like, it's so damn good. It also, I watched it when I was like 6 or 7. So I have a lot of nostalgia. I just remember when I was a kid thinking that all my toys were going to come to life and frickin' whack me, basically. So, and then another one of my childhood movies a few years later was Toy Story, which was another one, right? It was just an era where your toys are going to come to life. But yeah, this movie, it's so funny, but yet it's serious too. Like when he comes to life and in the mother's arms, far into the movie too. It isn't like right away. It takes a while. It builds it up nicely. I like the way it does it. But when he comes to life for the first time, it is actually creepy. And even though he's cursing and he's like, fucking bitch and slut and shit, but it's good. And Chris Sarandon is in this. Does a great job. I don't need to. It's hard to say much about Child's Play. If you haven't seen it, obviously, watch it. This is one of the all-time greats. So you gotta put it on your watch list. And spawned what I would say a lot of pretty solid sequels. Like, this is a series that produced. It's still producing today. Like, we got the fucking TV show that just got finished up, I think. I think it got canceled at, like, season 4 or 5 or something. I never watched the TV show. I only watched the first season. I'm not a fan of TV shows, so I had a hard time getting into it. Like, there's only a few TV shows I've ever actually finished front to back. Because I don't know. I'm more of a movie person. But I do love TV shows. My favorite TV show of all time is Game of Thrones. So I can get into TV shows, but I'm just more of a movie person. I like getting my story done to me in like an hour and a half. And it's just the way I am. It's weird. But with that said, Child's Play, absolute must own. As if all of these, really. Like, I'll just show this stack one more time. The spines here. Snap yourself a pic and add them all on your buy list, because you won't be disappointed with any of them. That's my stamp of approval right there. Guaranteed you'd be happy with all these purchases, and you wouldn't be like disappointed that you spent the money on any of them. But yeah, 1988. Like I said, tough year. I had a whole bunch of other ones that I was gonna show, but just like, you know what, I could just show whatever I want, right? It doesn't have to be 5. I know at the beginning I started and I'm like, I'm gonna do 5 per episode, and then I kept telling myself that I had to stay with 5, but then I'm like, well, I don't really have to do anything. I can do whatever the heck I want, right? So I added an extra one in. Maybe the next episode I'll add a couple extra ones in. I don't know. but I will always keep it to ones that I think you should add to your collection. And I'm not just saying that because I spent the money on it. I have tons of movies that honestly I could probably get rid of and not care because I don't think they need to be added to your collection. So that's why I'm just sticking to stuff I think you'd be happy with the purchase. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for checking out my 1988. I will bring you 1989 as soon as I do it, which will probably be within a couple of days. Thanks for checking it out. If you feel like it, you can throw a couple of your faves in the comments of what you think are just like must sees. If they're not like, if it's not one of these ones, if you have a couple other ones that you'd like to throw in the comments, I would love to hear them and tell you whether I've seen them or not. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in a couple days.